I've got a friend who tells me that he misses when I do my impression of an old man shouting at a cloud. Well, buckle up. Welcome back, friends. Welcome back. I think that's a Homer Simpson or a Grandpa Simpson reference, and I don't think I want to be his friend anymore, if I'm honest. You know who I'm talking about. You're out there. Welcome back. Happy Monday. Hey, while you're at it, click that thumbs up button for me, would you? It does help a lot. Got to pay homage to the almighty algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, why don't you do that too? I'd appreciate it. So, first things first, a bit of good news last week. I got a refresh on some Swift Industries bags. That was great in this year where it has been slim pickings for new product. The bags look great, and unlike in previous years, I'm going to get them on a semi-regular basis throughout the season, so that's good news indeed. So I wrote a blog post, 3 or 4 months ago at this point, and it was reflecting on my trips to the National Bike Summit, where they take, advocates basically going in lobby their representatives. I want to also say that, I'm going to be walking a tightrope on this one, and I brought the power ring with me today to try to help keep me between the ditches. So, the thing that I saw, and I was not as experienced as most of the people that went on these excursions to Washington, D.C. First of all, lobbying, it's a daunting task for someone who doesn't do it all the time. I think, love them or hate them, and I think there's a strong case to be made to dislike lobbyists in general. It's a reason why it's a profession, because you got to navigate those shark-infested waters, and it takes some practice. So you throw a bunch of bike people in there, or name whatever your hobby is, and then throw them into the Capitol and expect them to be able to, negotiate and do strong work with people who, essentially negotiate for a living. It's a hard job. But the thing that I saw was that, you got two parties there, and they don't think alike, but yet we advocate the same way for both parties. You don't negotiate with mom the same way you negotiate with dad. To me, it was just common sense. And this was just my perspective and a very limited exposure to this. And so I wrote a blog post about this, but it was right around the time of the election, and I thought, this is just fraught with peril. And the potential for more bad coming from it than good, I thought was pretty high, so I just tabled it. And I didn't post it. But something happened last week that brought it all back to the front of my mind. We have a new transportation secretary here in the good old US of A. You may have heard. And if you live here in Indiana, you're certainly well aware, because he's the former mayor of South Bend, Indiana. Now, he went for a bike ride last week, And the predictable thing happened. One side thought it was the greatest thing in the world, and the other side thought it was a ridiculous fraud. Because, allegedly, he got a ride part of the way, and then he jumped out of the SUV, they pulled the bike out, and he rode the rest of the way. Allegedly. Now, do I think the fact that he went for a bike ride is deserving of a celebration? No. But I also am not mad about it. I don't think it is something so egregious that it's deserving of him being hoist on his own petard. You weren't expecting a little Shakespeare today, were you? Was it performative? Of course. Of course it was. Because politics is performative. Almost exclusively at this point. And I was trying to remember, when did that really start with C-SPAN? The minute they stuck cameras in these people's faces, it became a vaudeville show. And look, on the one hand, I hope they weave some things into the transportation bill that are good for states, cities, and local communities so that they can increase the amount of infrastructure in those areas. On the other hand, I wish that states, cities, and local areas didn't have to go begging to the federal government every couple of years for money to make these things happen. I'm getting close to a ditch here. I wish and I hope we get to the point where we stop treating these people like celebrities and start treating them like what they are, which is employees. Or in Mayor Pete's case, he works for an employee. They are, as a group, less deserving of celebrity than actual celebrities, which is saying something. So, that's my rant for today. I'm glad Mayor Pete went for a bike ride. I don't think it was the greatest thing in the world, and I don't think it was the worst thing in the world. It was, late March, early April in Washington, D.C. The weather's tricky. I can understand you got to work all day. You want to put on a little bit of a show, put it on TikTok. I'm not mad about it. But there has to be more than that, obviously. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks as always for watching. Till next time, be nice, work hard, ride bikes, play music when you can. I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully.